Welcome to the Morning Update. I'm Jessica Stafford-Ewing. Changes come into effect today for travellers arriving from China, Hong Kong and Macau. They'll all need to now provide a negative COVID test in the 48 hours before they board their flight after an explosion in cases. The World Health Organization's Mike Ryan says they're concerned about the lack of data coming out of China.
We believe that the current numbers being published from China underrepresent the true impact of the disease in terms of hospital admissions, in terms of ICU admissions, and particularly in terms of deaths.
The Queensland opposition leader is continuing to raise questions about the state's major DNA bungle, which saw thousands of samples ignored or inefficiently tested. As the staff of the state-run lab prepare to respond at today's inquiry, David Crisafulli says the findings are an insult to the victims of crime.
At the heart of any good justice system is the ability to collect evidence. There are cases in this state where DNA has not been detected in a vehicle driven by an alleged offender for 2 decades. We've had DNA unable to be detected in a pool of blood, the DNA of the victim.
Melbourne is set to overtake Sydney as the biggest city within the decade. It's thanks to a mass exodus of residents and low international migration off the back of the pandemic. Just over 6 million people will call Sydney home in 2032, compared to 6.1 million for the Victorian capital. Samsung phone owners are being told not to update their phone, with fears thousands could be left with unusable devices. Phone repair services say they're warning customers to wait until the glitch is fixed until they update their phone. To sport now. In the NBL, the New Zealand Breakers took out the Perth Wildcats across the ditch, winning 97-94, while the Sydney Kings claimed a 16-point victory over their guests, South East Melbourne, 118-102. And in tennis, Nick Kyrgios will miss the Adelaide International next week due to an ankle injury. In entertainment news, it seems the Me Too movement has no time restrictions. Paramount Pictures is being sued for child abuse for the 1968 movie Romeo and Juliet over a nude scene in the film. The lead actors, who were teenagers at the time, claim the director forced them to strip for the movie's success. And it looks like English actor Aaron Taylor-Johnson is a frontrunner to be the next James Bond. The 32-year-old's been spotted meeting with 007 producers. The next movie in the franchise is expected to start filming in 2024. And that's the latest from the Nova podcast team. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of The Update.